You all right? You having a good day, lot? Slightly streaming. Tell the townsfolk. Fetch my squire. They need to end this tonight. The Heat need to seriously end this tonight. Don't allow it to drag any further. You know, truth be told, I feel everyone says all the pressure's on the Heat. Not really. Not tonight, at least. Like, I feel like if you're the Heat, you lose tonight. All right, we can win at home. You know. I like when you upload stream clips slightly. You should do it more. All right. So since you brought up, I posted a video yesterday that I liked. I thought it was a pretty good video, honestly. My favorite role players. It's probably the worst performing video on this channel in like 2 years. And I'm wondering if part of it is because I'm putting so much stuff on the channel this last week that it's just like too much. So I think next week I'll try. I need to figure something out. Because I don't like streaming and posting a video on the same day. Just think it's a little too much. I'm scared of what Bill Simmons will say if Celtics make a comeback. Bill Simmons, you know what? Like, Bill Simmons is a little bit more tame than pretty much everyone else. I feel stream clips and shorts might work. I've been thinking about doing shorts. I feel like my brain is just not hardwired. Like, I don't, my brain's not that broken. Like, I'm way less concerned about what Bill Simmons will say on his podcast today on Twitter. I already have some words muted on Twitter, by the way, just in case. Well, listen, if Tatum leads a 3-0 comeback, like, yeah, I feel like, you know, if Tatum leads a 3-0 comeback, like, whatever people say about him, I feel like will be fair. Mr. Bryce, I think you should give me a kiss. I just stole a kiss. What are you going to do about it? Does anybody remember that? Does anyone remember that from Vine? I just stole a kiss. What are you going to do about it? What up, Savon? All right, so today we're going to talk about this. This has been making the rounds on Twitter. Nuggets fans have been going crazy. I've never seen a community collectively gather receipts the way Nuggets fans on Twitter have over the past couple of days. And I do love it. Because it's not like, you know, I've seen like Lakers fans will gather receipts, right? Warriors fans will gather receipts. But their receipts are like somebody with like 34 followers on Twitter being like, oh, I don't know, guys. I don't think the Lakers are going to win tonight. And then the Lakers win and they'll quote tweet and be like, shut up, you dumb bitch. And it's just like, dude, I think that's like a 36-year-old father of 4 who's just like, you know, and just having fun tweeting to no one. But Nuggets fans, woo, they're bringing the heat. And I'm here for it. I've been enjoying it. Because the criticism, this is what I've been telling you guys. New media, our old media is so fucking bad. Like, it just is. It's not good. It's not like this in any other sport. Where it's like, when it comes to old media in basketball, like, it's cool to just like openly shit on the sport. It's cool to openly talk down about franchises. It's cool to say like certain franchises suck. Oh, I don't want to talk about surf. Oh, why would I want to watch them? Ugh, gross. Oh, I don't want to watch them. Who wants to watch them? It's like, ugh, gross. Like, ugh, that player? I don't want to watch him. Ew. So weird. And it's partially the NBA's fault, for sure. Because with Jokic, I've been saying this forever. When people are like, Jokic isn't fun to watch, I'm like, what? You just exposed yourself for never watching. If you think Jokic is boring to watch, you just exposed yourself for not watching. What up, Micah? Because I don't know how anybody could think Jokic is boring, ever. You know, and I'll even say this. I don't think Luka's boring to watch at all. But if you want to say Luka's a little bit boring to watch because, you know, the ball is going to stick to him and he's going to try to draw fouls and he's going to cry and complain, I would agree with you. All right, I wouldn't argue with you. I wouldn't argue with you. But Jokic is like absolutely the worst. The person I would never call Jokic a boring player, ever. And I do partially blame the NBA because what's the thing they do on League Pass? The little bounce around thing they have. What was it called? Like their version of Red Zone. Luka was on the Mavs. I wouldn't watch him that much. Him crying for fouls is annoying. Yeah, he's just a little bit annoying. But when he's on and cooking, it's a sight to see. Anyways, whatever the NBA version of Red Zone is, I was watching that a few nights ago. Or not a few nights ago. What the hell? I was watching that. Crunch Time is what it's called, I'm pretty sure. And in the middle of the games, see, the reason why I don't think the reason why I don't think it can work for the NBA is I think they have some like weird licensing rules where they can only show certain moments from games and they can't show like the final 2 minutes. Something like that. So it was like really weird and wonky. I didn't watch it for a long time, so it might have changed. But anyways, while I was watching it, the games were going on, mind you. Games were happening live. And instead of showing clips from the game, they did a full segment, top 5 Ja Morant plays from that night during the games. Games were literally happening, and I was wanting to watch the games. And they did a top 5 plays from Ja Morant tonight. There's no reason why they can't do something like that for Jokic. Like, there really is no reason why they can't push Jokic that hard. Seriously, they could do once a week. They could do, hey, here's the top 10 passes from Jokic last week. Here are the top 10 absurd passes. Here are the top 5, crazy fall away, one-legged jumpers Jokic hit. Here was the 5 best footwork, 5 most insane footwork plays from Jokic over the past week. They could easily do that. And I think people would be really interested. I do. But they just don't. And it leads to dumb shit like this. Ja Morant plays equals dunking on rookies? Yeah, but they're fun to watch, though. Like, Ja Morant is incredibly fun to watch. Can you do a top 5 most boring to watch superstars? But I don't think there's any boring. I don't get bored by superstars. I just don't. Tatum. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I definitely can see how people think I'm a Tatum hater. What up, KS? I mean, if we're talking boring, Cat and Booker kind of boring. I do not think Devin Booker is boring at all. We could talk. I mean, I guess it's just his game's methodical. He's getting to his spot, and you know what he's doing every time. That little elbow jumper, pretty much, and it's gonna go in. But I think Booker is pretty fun to watch. And then he also does talk shit and gets animated, and I do like that and respect it. Now that Booker is out, and I don't have to worry about him winning a ring, I can talk very highly of Booker. I don't think Cat's very boring to watch, though, either. But not for the reasons maybe Cat wants. He deserves respect for this playoff run alone. Book? Yeah, for sure. It's mostly just some xenophobic bitches scared that the Euro guys are taking over. I don't even think it's that. Like, I think there is like this weird. I think there is this very weird. Oh my God. NBA Central. Ja Morant's latest signature sneaker called Hungover released on the sneakers app today and sold out in minutes. Wait. Whoops. We had to edit it. Hunger. Oh my, that was not a mistake. That was absolutely not a mistake, man. That's actually hilarious. I'm pretty sure NBA Central was following me at one point. One of the big ones was. What's up with all of this? What is going on with all of these? I don't understand it. Have you guys been noticing these all over Twitter? The AMP things? But it's always like people tweeting them about other people. More Luka 2 colorways dropped and they are even worse in the debut. Can you send me a link? Doomer, you should be able to send links in here. You're a mod. Can you send a link? Oh, God. Quote tweet an athlete who completely carried the team to success. Dwayne Wade averaged 34.5 points per game in the 2006 finals. All right. Okay. See ya. Adios. Hot new hip hop. Man, hot new hip hop way back in the day. Way back in the day. Is hot new hip hop still going strong? Really? I think these are fire. I think those are pretty fucking good. Like, I actually really like these. The shoe itself is nice, but the colorway is shite. I think they're pretty good. Luka honors his dogs with new look Jordan 1. Oh! Luka 1s are good, man. Like, these are good shoes. These are good looking shoes. I keep seeing people say that the Celtics, like the Nuggets, are going to be favorites no matter what. Do we actually think that? If the Celtics come back down 3-0, I think that they would actually be the favorites. I think the Celtics would actually be the favorites. I'm just thinking what Vegas would say. I'm not saying I would pick the Celtics. I'm picking the Nuggets no matter who they play. But we might have an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. I've picked the Nuggets to win every series this year. They have, and I picked the Heat to lose every series this year. So the Celtics would have just come from a grueling 7-game series. That's true, but there's enough rest. Like, Game 7 would be... Are they doing every other day? Game 7 would be on Monday. They would have 2 full days. That's actually not that much time compared to the Nuggets. Hasn't there been studies though that like super long? I always like going to the source. This guy right here. Nicola Aesthetic. He's been going crazy on Twitter. All right. First and foremost, Chris Mannix. It's like, listen, I, more than anybody else, love shitting all over old media. Trust me. Trust me. These actually look pretty cool, low-key. What the fuck are you sending me? Oh. They're fire. I like these a lot, actually. I like... what? Just go ahead and just go ahead and glow in the dark. Oh no. What's up, guys? Having a beer to celebrate me getting through my EMT training. Well, congratulations. All right. I've seen everybody freak out about this clip, but I haven't watched it.
The card the Nuggets can play is nobody talks about us. Nobody, spends airtime discussing us, column inches writing about us, because frankly, the Nuggets.
Is this from today?
Aren't very interesting. Like Nikola Jokic is arguably the best player in the game right now, but he's not someone that does a lot of interviews outside of the NBA mandated stuff. You're not going to see a lot of profiles on Nikola Jokic. Jamal.
What? You can literally say the same thing about LeBron. LeBron's like notoriously hard to interview. Imagine giving slightly mouth to mouth after eating cold fries with canned beans. Yeah, what about it? Ask your mom how that goes.
Paul Murray, great player, not especially interesting. Michael Porter Jr., excellent player, not especially interesting. At least not compared to what we have at the bottom of the playoff bracket, where you've got drama in Los Angeles almost weekly. You've got the Suns. Can they succeed in this first year with Kevin Durant? The Warriors, all their dysfunction this year. The Clippers, can they get it together? The Nuggets' problem is they're not respected. They're just not talked about. People just don't find them as...
Aaron, 6 months of the Slightly Delusional Club. Doncic wants his friend Jokic to win. Yeah, I bet so. I think Jamal Murray seems like an actual very interesting guy to me.
Interesting as some of the teams on the bottom half of the bracket.
Because you see, I guess, Steven Adams doing more commercials than Jokic? I mean, he
doesn't want to do it. Like, look, it's a kind of a cliche, but he just wants to play, he wants to collect a check, and he wants to help his team win. That's really all that's on his mind.
That's it.
You know what's funny, Slightly, is that self-content creators like yourself, Kenny, AM Hoops, Mike Korzimba, etc., have been talking the Nuggets nonstop, which shows you that mainstream media doesn't know shit. It's not really that. It's just... Jamal Murray's definitely had some interesting viral moments, yes. I think it's more so like if you're just making a YouTube channel talking about basketball, you're not like, it's not your job, at least not early on. So it's like, it's because you like it and you like watching it and you like talking about it. And so those people, I think, are definitely going to gravitate more towards a team like the Nuggets.
Any given week, he's not, you don't see him doing endorsement deals. You remember when he won the MVP award, both times the Nuggets had to fly over to Serbia to give it to him. He was out. He was gone. He was just hanging with his family back home in Europe. So they're just not a compelling team to talk about, to write about, at least not as compelling as some of the other teams I mentioned.
Okay, so
I actually agree with what he just said, but only from the context of old media, where all they fucking do is talk about drama in the NBA. And just from not that context, he is correct. Which is what he does. He writes for Sports Illustrated. The Nuggets have been unproblematic all year long. They've had no turmoil whatsoever. They've been good the entire year. That's not what they want to talk about. Both of his MVP seasons, the only person that was in the starting lineup that's still there is Gordon. Well, I don't even think that's true. I think last year he was in Serbia, but I don't think that was true for the year before. Hold on, I want to see what other receipts we're talking about here. Oh, Chris. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, all right. Chris Mannix is defending himself. Chris, you don't find the story of someone being the best high school player in the world, then having 3 career imperiling back surgeries? That's true. Michael Porter Jr. was that guy in high school. Then having a brother imprisoned mid-season, all while completely remodeling his game to become a key cog in the machine team to be interesting. Of course. Was asked specifically about the respect comment Malone made. Said they were respected. Joker 2-time MVP. Malone regularly on Coach of the Year list. That's respect. But specific to this season, they weren't as interesting as what was happening in LA, Phoenix, Golden State, Clippers. What interesting? Like, listen, I've been a big Clippers guy. I have. I think I've picked them to win the finals 3 straight years before the season started. But what interesting was going on there? Like, what was going on there that was interesting? I'm trying to remember. They were all injured again. That's not interesting. Trust me, if any of those players were on a big market like LA or New York City, they'd be interesting all of a sudden. I mean, okay, do we really think like Jalen Brunson is that much more interesting than Jamal Murray? Like, Brunson's got a good personality and he's a fun dude, but like Jamal Murray is the same way. And Brunson's turned into like a big time. The only reason why Dallas is promoted on ESPN and other shows is only because of Luka. And Dallas has been good for a long enough time. Like, we shell over the Mavericks as Mavericks fans, but they've been good and in the conversation for such a long period of time that like people know the Mavericks. Sorry, guys. I'm getting ready for a big night tonight. Opening day. Softball summer season. First 2 games of the night. First 2 games of the season tonight. Slightly, can you give a statement about the games tonight? Yeah, just, wanting to go out there as a team and set the tone for the season early. Play our game. Play hard. And, want to get in the win column to start the season. It's a really important thing. Set the tone for the season. The guys in the locker room, we all believe in each other. We've had a great offseason of 1 week, and we're ready to go. We're locked in. We're focused. This is our year. And that's just in the conference. Denver has been chugging along since Christmas. That's the reality of why they haven't been talked about, not that they haven't been respected. Oh my God. The bigger story is that you have 200,000 plus followers, I'm guessing is what he's saying. And yet you average less than 10 engagements per tweet. Oh. Eesh. Hope you remember your Insta password. Dude, the Luka 2s are sick. Okay? These are sick. What? Man, that's scathing. Okay, so like it's gonna look different now because dude, I get more engagements than this. Dude, I get more engagements on Twitter. The donkey toe? Wait, is the donkey toe? I forgot. Okay, I forgot. I remembered there was something about the shoe that was bad. The donkey toe. Are those still there? It's hard to tell from this one. I think he looks sick, actually. All right, hold on. There might be a developing story here about Eric Lewis having a burner account. NBA ref Eric Lewis has been outed as having a burner account. Oh, okay. I don't know about this. Sorry, we're going all over the place. NBA ref Eric Lewis has been outed as having a burner account. LMAO. This is a momentous day. The account will surely be deleted soon for the archives. The entirety of the account which replies all involving Eric Lewis. So isn't it Eric Lewis is the guy who who it came out his fan, unless I'm misremembering. Eric Lewis is the one who it came out that his family was like a huge Celtics fans. Like, here's what I found. Referee Eric Lewis has today's Sixers Celtics game. His family are huge Celtics fans, and the Celtics have the highest win percentage of any team he refs. Which, that's a misleading stat, in my opinion, just because the Celtics have been good. So it's like, yeah, of course. I don't think that there's anything too crazy about that. Because it's, again, the Celtics have been a good team. The Rockets, historically, have been like good over the past decade outside of the last few years. Same with the Spurs. Mavericks! Scroll down and you'll see front angle. Oh, yep. You see him right there. They don't look as bad here. What is going on with the fucking toes? Oh, why is that there? That is so puzzling. I know that look. Luka's feet are on fire. He can't wait to take those shoes off. Okay, so as from all the tweets we've seen thus far, it looks as though all of his tweets defending himself are just his tweets are just defending himself and the refs. I haven't seen anything crazy where it's like going hard for the Celtics. Okay, here we go. LOL, I'm not a Celtics fan, but Eric Lewis is definitely a Celtics lover, but they only have 4 wins this year with him. Not sure that's true. They're pretty sure there are other refs with similar stats with hot teams. Smells like nothing to sniff. Eric Lewis should not be the ref for any more Celtics games. Who's with me? This could easily be a family member. Most definitely a burner account of somebody somebody close to Eric Lewis, I would say. They're no ref a Celtics fan, made up by Laker Nation, but everyone running with it. I would be shocked. How old? How old is Eric Lewis? I would be utterly shocked if he's talking like this. Like, seriously. This is 1,000,000% like a 20-year-old. Dude, Eric Lewis is 52. There's no way this is him. Literally no way whatsoever. Yeah. I'm not buying it. Maybe it's like a family member. Anyway, sorry, we got so far off the beaten path here. It's not hard to pick up slang. Yeah, but that's like the emoji use and everything. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not a 52-year-old. All right, I want to see all the receipts getting pulled here. Damn. Mannix got absolutely destroyed. Tyler rolling up to the softball game tonight looking like Airsoft Fatty. Who the fuck is Airsoft Fatty? That one right now I could just tell is disrespectful. Jesus. I want to see more. Here we go. This account right here, Nicola Aesthetic, has literally just been pulling receipts the whole time.
Be coming on the air 2 years ago in December and saying, hey, everybody, there's a center that you don't know anything about in Denver named Nikola Jokic, and I want to talk to you about him a lot. Or should I talk about LeBron James? Should I talk about Aaron Rodgers? Should I talk about the Cowboys? Should I talk about the Warriors? Should I talk about the Celtics? Should I talk about the teams that have these big historical following? Those are the decisions that people like me make every single day. We're making guesses, educated guesses, because we have data, we have studies, but more than anything, I think I have a finger on the pulse of what people are interested in. So the question is, where is the line between we're not talking enough about Nikola Jokic and we're talking too much about these other things? Because
You definitely don't have your finger on the pulse. You don't have your finger on the pulse at all.
you guys focus too much on this, that, or the other, the Cowboys and LeBron and Steph Curry and all of that. There's a reason. It's because those players, those people, those teams generate the most interest. It's you. And by you, I mean you listening to me right now.
Every single ESPN video I've ever seen, every single clip from one of their shows, there are 6 to 9 people on the fucking screen at a time. Why are there that many people on the screen? You have 4 people who are just there to say the most ridiculous shit you've ever heard in your life. You have one person who's supposed to be the moderator, I guess, who does nothing. You have one person who's there to just say normal things. Like not even groundbreaking analysis.
Okay, wait, who
not
is
even
this
crazy
guy?
stats. Like you have one person.
Who the hell is that?
who's there to just say normal things. Like not even groundbreaking analysis, not even crazy stats. Like they just are normal. They just say normal stuff. And everybody goes crazy because they're not talking out of their ass. And then you have two people, their entire purpose is to just sit there like this. Like they just react like that and they don't even speak. It's like, why are there 6 people on the fucking screen? Who? What could possibly be the reasoning? What are they doing? Yeah. What could be the reasons? Another banger from Slightly Biased Clips. Another absolute scorcher. Time for Greeny to go take a nap. It's nap time. How old is Greeny? They've been, dude. Mike and Mike used to be my shit back in the day. I used to fall asleep to ESPN radio because I needed noise, and I didn't have a TV in my room. I had a little radio. Used to fall asleep to ESPN radio, and Mike and Mike would always be on in the morning.
This was the question I wanted to get to last segment.
This has got to be good.
Is Nikola Jokic the best player in the world? And I think he is, honestly. And a lot of people, the reason they would say he's not is because he's not a great defensive player. That is a weakness, but he is a smart defensive player.
Okay.
And he is big, obviously. And just his size alone and his smarts make him, he's not a negative defensively.
Right.
He's not, great, and he's not going to wreak havoc on that end of the court. But he isn't a negative, and I think his size and smarts actually make him somewhat of a positive, at least. Magic and Bird, those guys weren't tremendous individual defenders, but they were smart. They had great insight.
This is actually a very good take. That's actually a very, very good take. Why is Greeny gaslighting me into thinking it's my fault he doesn't talk about Jokic? I mean, he's not wrong where it's like most people want to tune in to hear like shit about the Cowboys, but it's also cause and effect. Like the only reason that's the case is because ESPN talks about them so much. That's really it. Greeny had his producer practically do his NBA ballot this year. I've been telling you guys as somebody who knows this. These people do not watch. There's no way they watch more than one game a night. Absolutely no way. Even if that. No way. No chance. These guys are waking up at like 3:30 in the morning to do shows, man. Like, they got interns who watch the games, and they tell them, hey, this, and this happened. Like, this guy shot, 14% from 3. This guy shot, hey, this guy's shooting, 55% from the field over the last 2 weeks. Like, Jokic won't be the best player 1 month into next season. I want more receipts.
We haven't talked at all about the Nuggets today, but Jokic is the best player on the planet right now. He is. Yeah. He's the best player on the planet. Yeah. He is. He's the best player on the planet.
What's his name? Emmanuel Acho? Holy shit. Why do I care what the okay, somebody's got to explain this to me. Like why do I care? I just hate how serious these shows are. Like, they take themselves so seriously. It's so sad. It's a little bit sad. Yeah, and it's like, okay, NFL guy, right? Emmanuel Acho was an NFL guy. LaShawn McCoy, NFL guy. This is exactly who I want to hear talk about Nikola Jokic.
Finished in the regular season 8th in total blocks.
James Worthy, Derek Fisher, and Mike Bresnahan give respect to the Denver Nuggets. All right, not too many receipts, but a couple days ago the receipts were going crazy. A couple days ago, they were absolutely going crazy. Luka and Jokic going to team up. I can feel it. I can't. All Skip does is read a piece of paper with stats on it and acts like he knows what he's talking about. KG has admitted every night he tries to watch up to 4 to 5 games. Yeah, but I think Kevin Garnett is different though, because like he's a basketball guy. Like he played in the NBA, but I'm telling you, these like these morning sports talk show guys are not like that. I still can't believe the Celtics won Game 4 the other night. It was kind of an impressive win. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I do realize it was kind of an impressive win. Especially because the Heat were up 9 in the third quarter. Like, that could have very easily been, all right, season's over. Like, we fucked up territory. Nick Wright's been going crazy. Nick Wright, I've you know, you love Luka, and for that, I will love you. But you've kind of been wilding out about Jokic. KD was over watching Eurobasket. He would be great as an analyst whenever he retires. Yeah, I did see that. When does Euro basketball start? Are you talking about the World Cup? I don't know. It's like in July or August or something like that. It's kind of crazy how fast things happen in the NBA offseason. Because the finals are going to start a week from today. That'll take a week or two. And then, boom, 2 weeks later, it's 2 weeks later, it's draft. 2 weeks later, it's 2 weeks later, it's draft. 2 weeks later, it's free agency. Like, not even 2 weeks after the draft. Yeah, because I remember last year I went on a 2-week trip to Europe. The draft happened while I was there, and free agency happened while I was there. Two weeks later in the season from hell for the Mavs is officially done and done. True. I'm very interested. I've been doing my draft research, guys. I'm like 10 guys in. I've only been doing the consensus board. I've just been going down the consensus big board and looking at guys. Some of them I've watched like actual. I'm not like a film watcher, but I've watched some just to get a feel of the guys. You like the Thompson twins. I would not want to be the 4th or 5th overall pick and have to make that decision. I'll tell you that much. I really, really wouldn't. Don't envy those teams. You think ESPN is secretly wishing the Heat Nuggets have horrible ratings? No. I think there's zero chance Asor. Like, I think Asor is better than Amin. Like, honestly, Amin. Like, if you want to be a lead guard in the NBA, man, you gotta shoot. It's just really spooky to me. Just can't be that bad of a shooter. I haven't looked at Grady Dick yet. I think that's the next guy. I am so in on Jarris Walker. It's fucking crazy. I am so high on Jarris Walker. It's unbelievable. But the Thompson twins and Anthony Black. The shooting is so scary, dude. The shooting is so scary. But yeah, the Thompson twins, by all accounts, are like incredibly hard workers. So it's possible. But like it doesn't happen very often that guys like that end up becoming good shooters, like very rarely. And they don't have to be good shooters, but at least passable. But they're like far away. Hey, let Jarris Walker lose all the draft stock. I'm so in on him. So he fits what the Mavericks want like a glove. Taylor Hendricks and Jarris Walker are good players, but I doubt that both of them fall to you at 10. I don't need both of them to. I like Jarris Walker more than Taylor Hendricks, truth be told, for the Mavericks. They need that connective forward. Like, pass him the ball and good things are going to happen offensively, and he's a great defender. Like, I love it. I really do. That passing is the special stuff. I don't think Taylor Hendricks is league's better, truth be told. They both have like scary stuff. Like both of them, their finishing's kind of bad. But I just like the passing from Jarris Walker a little bit more. But Taylor Hendricks is like a better shot blocker and stuff. Yeah, Hendricks shooting is a little bit better. Hendricks has a little bit more offensive upside, I think, as like a scorer. We'll see. All right. We're going to go through my top 100 list. We're going to go through my top 100 list. Who's rising and who is falling based off this postseason so far. I want to shout out a couple of players I do not have on this list that I think made an argument for themselves with their postseason play to get on the list. How about Russell Westbrook? I'll have to seriously consider adding Russ to my top 100 list whenever we update it in a couple of weeks. I'll have to really consider it. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists in the series against the Suns. Dominated game 1 in the game that they won. Had that huge clutch block on Book. Had played good defense in that series as well. He's got an argument. RJ Barrett, who is not on my top 100 list. He might have played his way onto the list with his postseason play. 19 points. 43% from the field. No, Dylan Brooks is not. I don't think Dylan Brooks is on here, but he's not moving onto the list. RJ Barrett, I'd have to consider adding to the list. Caleb Martin, Caleb Martin legitimately has a case. Gabe Vincent, like I don't think those guys are gonna make it, but Caleb Martin really might have a chance. I'm trying to think. I don't know if Malik Monk is on this list actually. If he's not, he definitely should be. Reeves for sure. I think Reeves definitely cracks it. If he's not already on here, I think Reeves definitely cracks it. Would have to consider Rui too. Don't know. I don't want to be like too reactionary. KCP came in at number 100. These rankings came out, I want to say like a little bit after. I'm thinking like in March. They were supposed to come out like around the All-Star game, but shit kept coming up. KCP is shooting 41% from 3 this postseason. About 12 points a game. Scoring numbers are up. Shooting numbers are about the same. I think he's about here. Like, I think this is fair. I don't think he's necessarily been a huge riser or anything like that. I think he's about the same. Cam Johnson had some nice moments in the playoffs, that series. But in a sweep, I don't know how much I can move guys up and down based off of that. I actually might move him up quite a bit now that I'm thinking about it. Only because the only reason why I had him so low on this list is because he only played 29 games. So he actually will definitely be moving up. Insert emoji. Up. Boom. What the fuck? Okay. Buddy Hield didn't make the playoffs. Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes had his moments. And then did Harrison Barnes stuff. Shooting very poorly, and the Warriors made fun of him for it. Unfortunately, it makes my heart hurt because I love Harrison Barnes. 17 points. Here's the last. Game 7, 4 points. Game 6, 6 points. Game 4, 9 points, including that missed game-winning 3. Does his stock fall much from 97? I would have to say no. Norm Powell, I don't even like this series, like first round series, feel like they didn't even happen at this point. Norman Powell had a great postseason though. He dropped a 40 bomb. Don't know if he's gonna move up that much though. Like, I feel like this is just all right for him. Steven Adams didn't play. Josh Hart. Huh. Very good against the Cavaliers. Very not good against the Heat. Just got scared of shooting down the stretch of that series. I think I don't want to spend too much time on these guys. I think he stays around here. Keldon Johnson, a lot of stuff going around on Mavs Twitter about Keldon Johnson. Jakob Poeltl didn't make the playoffs. Zubats, this is about right for him. I think Zubats has the potential to be so much higher. But it's just he's a big guy who can't really move around on the perimeter that well. Like, he's just not always going to be a guy you look towards in the playoffs, but a great rebounder and stuff. This is about right for him. Şengün, Vooch, Jordan Clarkson, Capella. Does Wemby make it for next year? Oh, Wemby's definitely going to be on my list going into the season. How high is the question? How high is the question? Capella's rebounding was a big reason why they were like so tough. But I feel like this is about right. Mitchell Robinson dominated that series against the Cavs, but again was just kind of not really there this series against the Heat. So it's interesting, like, what do you do with those guys? I think Mitchell Robinson actually might go up a little bit for me. Dude averaged 5 offensive rebounds a game this post. He averaged more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. I actually think he's a bit of a riser, although his scoring is down. I see a lot of Mavs fans wanting John Wall. Who the fuck is saying that? Does he move up, though? Like, realistically, how much higher can he go? How much higher does Mitchell Robinson go? I think Cam Johnson jumps kind of considerably. I see, like, I think, yeah, he's where he's at. I can't see him, like, climbing that high. Mike Conley was just kind of there. So I'm not moving him around. Jaden McDaniels broke his hand. Unfortunate. Yet he didn't make it. Looney. Incredible against the Kings. Not as incredible / didn't play nearly as much against the Lakers. I feel as if he's just kind of stays around this area, right? He averaged 13 rebounds in the playoffs. How many rebounds did he average in the series against the Kings? Because it feels like it was 20. Can the Mavs snag Anthony Lamb? What the hell is wrong with you, man? Can the Mavericks snag Anthony Lamb? 15 rebounds a game in the first round. Jesus. Good passer, too. Over 4 assists a game, too. How about that? But I feel like this is around the right area for him, though. Like, do we think he moves up very much? Yeah, I know you're joking, B-Dot. That's what I'm saying. What is wrong with you? Looney moves up. He didn't play, though, in the second round, really. I think he stays around here. Big Al. Big Al. Big Al. Big Al. Big Al. Shooting has abandoned him. But he did kind of lock up Embiid, though. So he hasn't been great in this series. I feel like this is just around right. Like, my God, I'm a prophet. I feel like this is just about right. Walker Kessler, Caruso, Paolo, none of these guys. Quickly's a faller, right? That was really depressing. He's got to drop some. 15 points per game in the regular season, 9 in the playoffs, 34% from the field. True shooting percentage, 58% in the regular season, 48 in the playoffs. He's got to fall. It's unfortunate, but really, really struggled in the playoffs. Really struggled. He's our first dropper. He'll definitely still be in my top 100, but it'll be in the 90s probably, if I had to guess. If he drops, and so should Poole. Don't worry. Jordan Poole's not even on this list. So. Herder. They were waiting for Herder to get going all series, it felt like, huh? I feel like he's a dropper. 20% from 3. 9 points. 15 points in the regular season, 9 points in the playoffs. 61% true shooting regular season. 42 in the playoffs. Definite dropper. Unfortunate too. They really needed him to get going if they wanted to win that series. And if he played well, would you rate Malik Monk over Kevin Huerter now after what we just saw in the playoffs? Definitely, right? Maxey. I feel like Maxey's a bit of a riser. Maxey, I feel like, is most definitely rising. I did mention his drop-off was not really his fault. Just a strange environment. 20 points per game in the regular season, 20 in the playoffs. Shooting numbers went down a little bit, but he had some like really big moments for them. I think he goes up. Like, he had some big moments. He does have very good and very bad games, but I like his game. I'm a believer in him. He's moving on up. Up. D'Lo. Okay. There we go. D'Lo's moving down. Meow. I mean, Toby. Oh man. Tobias. 2 points in game 6. I've really gone to bat for you. But it's just like when he doesn't show up, his scoring numbers actually went up. But when he doesn't show up, good luck finding him anywhere. He was good in that series against the Nets. 21, 20, 15, 25. 18, 16. Game 1 and 2. And then, boom, 7, 9, 16, 2, 19. This feels like the right area, though. Ryan Russello calls no-show games Tobias Harris games for a reason. I feel like this is right around the area, though, for Tobias Harris. Like in the 70s. I mean, how far really is he going to drop? I can't get that 2-point game out of my head, though. We will drop him. And it hurts me. It hurts me. How did I get... Wiggins. Nowhere near as good as he was last postseason. But again, I feel like 70 is around the area for him, though. Don't you guys think? Scoring went down. Shooting went down. 29% from 3 in the playoffs. Never really put it together. I feel like this is just around the area, though. Brogdon. I feel like this is right around the area for Brogdon, too. Although I will say this. His defense is bad. Like, that was kind of a thing I really liked about Brogdon and was really interested in. It was like his defense was good and passable. But it feels like it's terrible now. And he's had some absolute stinkers. Although I think I heard that he might be dealing with an injury. That was something that was floating around a little bit today. 0 points in game 3. 2 points in game 4. Scoring numbers are down. Shooting numbers are down. This is a guy who shot 45% from 3 in the regular season. I mean, he's shooting like 40% from 3 in the playoffs, so it's not like it's way down. But I feel like this is around right, but maybe it drops a little bit. Yeah, I did hear that he was a little bit injured, a little bit beaten up. I feel like he stays. I feel like he stays around this space. Hero hurt. Really hard to say anything about him. Marcus Smart's going down. For me. But I don't know. I don't know if I can say Marcus Smart is a faller in the playoffs, though, because my opinion of Marcus Smart has just been decreasing, period. Smart is definitely not the player he used to be. Like, he's just like steadily dropping. You know what I mean? It's not really like. I can't wait till we get to Melo. Probably the hardest to gauge. Well, these are just playoff guys. I feel like I'll leave Smart around here, although he will probably drop a little tiny bit. Ayton is dropping rapidly. Need I say more? What? Need I say more? Ayton is dropping. 66th. Cursed. Chris Paul also dropping. Can't stay healthy. Team, honest to God, looked better when he was not playing. That mid-range jumper's not scaring anybody anymore. It's over. It's point gover. What do I lower? What do I put on here for drop? Down? Jesus. Chris Paul is going down. Who knows where he's going to be next year? But he is dropping rapidly. I think the Ringer still has him like in the 40s, which just makes no sense. Dinwiddie's dropping. And it's not necessarily his fault. It's not necessarily his fault. He can't be the point guard. But it was not the best of performances from him this postseason. It was not. 43% from the field. 3 turnovers a game. Not his game, really. Being the primary point guard, you're in some trouble. No, I think Dinwiddie's dropping a little bit. I think 60s is a little bit too high for him. He's definitely dropping a little bit. CJ probably drops, but he wasn't in the playoffs, so we'll ignore him. Jeremy Grant. Derek White. Huh. This feels about right for him, actually. Like, this feels around. It's been, like, strange where he's, like, kind of playing, kind of not playing. Like, his minutes have been a little bit weird, but I know he hasn't been good in the playoffs again, but he's still played good defense. Jimmy Butler is just Jimmy Butler. He's like the only Celtic shooting good. I'll just keep him around here. Gobert. They did make the playoffs. It's easy to forget. It's easy to forget. Gobert actually averaged 15 points a game in the playoffs on 12 rebounds. I feel like this is just around right for him, though. This is around the number. No, Gobert really wasn't that bad. This is about right. Yeah, Cat was horrible. Cat's not even on this list, but the only reason why he wasn't in my initial top 100 was because he had like 10 games played. MPJ. 56. That's kind of high already. But do we think he rises into like the top 40 area? I mean, winning, hey man, winning bias, it's a thing. Winning does a lot for you. Although his scoring numbers are down in the playoffs. Shooting numbers are about the same. But defensively, it's been really impressive. Defensively, it's been incredibly impressive, and he's hit big shots. He's still shooting 41% from three. It's crazy because like he'll be so quiet and then he'll hit 3 threes in a row, and it's such a gigantic momentum shift in the game. So even his like 13 points will be like super loud, if that makes sense. I think I see like I actually was higher on MPJ than I thought I would be. So if this feels about right. Clay, I feel like this is around where we should be for Clay. Clay shot 38% from the field in the playoffs. Oof. I think Clay might drop, actually. His defense is nowhere near as good as it used to be. And like nowhere even close to as good as it used to be. And his shot creation is horrible. And I hate when he tries to do it. I definitely think he drops a little bit. Yeah, I think I'd rather have Michael Porter Jr. moving forward than Clay, for sure. Definitely still think he's a top 100 guy, but I don't think he's near top 50. DeJounte was in the playoffs. Like, I really have to remind myself how these series went. 23 points per game for DeJounte Murray on good shooting. I think this is about right for him, though, around top 50-ish. I think his defense is overrated. But he's a solid player. Solid. About right. Claxton. Clax God. Not his fault. Not his fault. But I do think he's a faller. I do think he's a bit of a dropper. Again, not his fault, really. He had some nice games in the playoffs, though, but it's just hard to gauge him because he just played so much better when Kyrie and KD were there. 52 feels high, though, honestly. Yeah, he did get ejected. I mean, am I wrong? Like, this feels high. Like, he should be like 60s. And this isn't just playoffs. This is like post trade deadline kind of factoring that. Jamal Murray's definitely a big riser. I think he goes from 51 where I had him, which feels low, but okay. 51 where I had him. I think he jumps into the top 30 maybe. Like, yeah, I definitely think he jumps into the top 30. 25, yeah, top 25 is definitely a possibility. Like, I will definitely. My whole idea behind this initial top 100 list was I just wanted to put one out there, and then we will adjust after the playoffs. But Jamal Murray definitely jumps into the top 30, I think. No, easily. Top 25 is definitely possible. 27 points per game in the playoffs. Huge playoff riser. Huge. Brandon Ingram wasn't in the playoffs. Draymond. Part of me wants to rise him. When the Warriors are winning games, it's so apparent how important Draymond is. Like, it's so obvious how important Draymond is. $49 kind of feels right, but I sort of feel like he played very well in this postseason for sure. I think I would raise him maybe into like the top 40. I think Draymond goes up. Yo, so you know that show, you know that Speak show on FS1? No. They put up a poll for the Lakers offseason. It was get Kyrie, get Trey, or stay put. 34% chose Kai, 24% chose Trey, 42% chose stay pat. I'm trying to figure out how that. Okay, yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter what the fans say, unfortunately. Alternative didn't make the playoffs. Jared Allen. I mean, 47 is low. I was actually kind of low on Jared Allen, I feel like. But he's got to drop. I mean, that was such a disaster. How do we look past that? Like, he was so bad in that series. He's got to drop. But I don't know how comfortable I am dropping him like a bunch. Yeah, a player coming out and saying the lights were too bright is kind of not really what you want to hear from a playoff guy, but he was really bad. Damn, a lot of guys in the top 50 who didn't make the playoffs, huh? Brooke Lopez. It's going to feel weird talking about any of these Bucks players because of how terrible that was. Brooke had a nice game, though. Brooke had 36 in Game 5. I feel like this is just about right for him. Don't you think? I feel like this is just around right. Every now and then he'll have like a crazy. Yeah, he had 25 in Game 2, 36 in Game 4. Oh my God, that series really did only go 5 games. Holy shit! I said Game 6. I thought in my brain I just thought that series went 6, but oh my God, that series really did go 5 games. Jesus. Oh my God. You are kidding. He should just keep it like this. This is that haircut that what's that fucking guy's name? Luke is having a mental breakdown. That horrible comedian who's like a New Yorker. Andrew Schultz. This is what his hair looks like. It's that bad. That's hilarious. I had LaMelo Ball at 42. Desmond Bane. Again, it's going to be like the teams that really disappointed in the playoffs. It's going to be hard to really talk about any of their guys. But Desmond Bane came to play, though. 23.5 points per game in the playoffs, but he did only shoot 32% from three, but Sally just doesn't like stand-up comedy, but yeah, Andrew Schultz can get kind of bad. I don't watch stand-up at all, so I can't even really comment on stand-up, but anytime I see a clip from this guy's podcast, it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay? Let me tell you guys something. Listening to podcasters squeal laughing. Who said that was good? I want to know. Who told them that that was good content that we all want to see? And it'll be about like the least funny thing you've ever heard. Yeah, dude. And I told her, hey, yo, suck my dick. Not funny. Who told them that was good? Stavros is funny, though. Like, Stavros is actually funny. But I've never watched his stand-up, but I've seen him on podcasts and, like, streams and stuff, and he is a funny person. Listening to Bert Kreisler squeal like a pig is funnier than his joke. I can't stand that guy. And I have to see him on the TV every 20 seconds advertising that horrible movie. That will probably go down as one of the worst movies of all time. What's Mark Hamill doing in that movie? What's going on? Is Mark Hamill broke? Is that what it is? Like, the Star Wars checks have dried up. I think Desmond Bane's around here. Don't you think? You can hate him, but he sells out arenas. Cool. I don't care about that. I think he's trash. I don't think he's funny. Mark Hamill trying to repair his career after Last Jedi. Listen, he can't do the Joker voice anymore because it's so painful for him. Let him take it easy. Check. Okay, that's fair. You like H3? I think Ethan's pretty funny, actually. I don't like watch really, but if I could sell out arenas by taking my shirt off, I would too. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I'm not knocking his hustle. I'm just saying I don't think he's good. What up, Samish? I think Bane sticks around 40, actually. I think this is about right. Mobley? This was a little bit aggressive, I think, going that high on Mobley. Does Mobley drop? I think this is about right for Mobley. No, I don't stream playoff games anymore because I get copyright claimed every single fucking time. It's just not worth it, really. I think Mobley's got to drop. The only reason why Mobley's got to drop a little bit is I was way too high on him. Dude, his like points per game totals got cut in half in the playoffs. Not really his fault, but like, yeah, he did get like they got both him and Jared Allen got bitched by Mitchell Robinson. He's got to drop a little bit. I always forget what I have to type. Tyler getting copyright striked. Yeah, it's just been annoying. It's just been annoying. Tyler, you lied about our star stream. We demand retribution. I did. I did lie. Why did I have to do that? We did watch stars on the stream though once. It wasn't like a star stream, but we did watch a stars game on the stream once. I forgot when. It wasn't necessarily my fault because I had like 4 separate things happen where I had to take a week off 4 separate times against my will. And then by that time, the playoffs were starting, and I can't for the life of me get into hockey. DeRozan not in the playoffs. Zach LaVine not in the playoffs. Aaron Gordon. Wow, I was high on Aaron Gordon. Holy shit. I had Aaron Gordon at 37. Damn. I think this is right for him. He kind of got exposed a tiny bit by the Lakers because they're like, shoot, dude. Shoot. But defensively, he's so fucking good. Like, he was so good against KD. Like, as good as you could possibly be. This is about... What does the second number represent? This is... So I did a top 100 list before the season started, actually. And so this number is where they were at the start of it in the preseason list. Yeah, game 4 he had shots. 3 of 5. Didn't make a 3 the whole series. Made 3 in that game. But I think he's around here. He's about right here. Mikal Bridges. I mean, I was really high on Mikal Bridges too. But how much does he rise? Definitely a riser, but how much? I think once you get into like the top 30 or so, even moving up 3 or 4 or 5 spots is kind of a big rise because that means you're knocking someone out. So I'm gonna give him a riser. Like the closer you get to 1, the more like moving up 4 or 5 spots means. You know what I mean? Compared to like being in the 90s and you move up into the 80s. Like that's not that. It's not that. What do I... Oh my God. Oh, Garland's pretty down. Bro sneezes like a Teletubby. How does the Teletubby sneeze? Oh, when I sneeze, man. I'm not holding anything back. I'm letting it fly. Jaren Jackson had some moments against the Lakers, I think. Like, he was pretty solid. I feel like this is about right for him. Right? Like, not top 30 player, but a top 40, top 50 player. I think is about right. Defensive player of the year? Brunson is a big riser. big. I'm talking like into the top 20 for sure. Big rise for Brunson. Played his way into like he will be an all-star next year if he just plays well. Like he'll have the recognition, the media will want to reward him, fans will want to reward him, coaches will want to reward him. Like he should be, as long as he stays healthy, an all-star next season. 27 points per game in the playoffs. $41 points. I mean, dude, 48 minutes. How many games did that Heat series go? They took that series to 6. 48 minutes in game 5, down 3-1, 38 points. 45 minutes in game 6, 41 points. 44 minutes in game 4, 32 points. The Heat series, he averaged 31 points, 50% shooting, 34% from 3, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, only 1 turnover. Incredible. Incredible stuff for Brunson. Incredible. Big riser. Big mistake losing him for sure. Monumental mistake. Siakam didn't make the playoffs. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. Remember, once we get like around the top 30, only moving up a few spots. Only moving up a few spots is enough to be like a legit riser. Do we think Bam moves up? His offense at times has like not been the best in the playoffs. But defensively, he's been incredible. Like, Bam's stinkers are pretty bad. He had 10 points against the Celtics a couple nights ago. But do we think Bam climbs into the top 30? Like, are we comfortable saying Bam is a top 30 player? Game 2 against the Celtics, 14 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists. Don't let what Jokic is about to do to him affect you too much. I think the Nuggets probably sweep the Heat, truthfully, but that might be a little bit risky to say because you don't want to count out the Heat. But I actually think Bam rises a tiny bit. I think he gets into the top 30, especially because there will be guys dropping out of it, most definitely. Anthony Edwards. Thoughts on fans saying Jimmy making the Eastern Conference Finals this year is better run than Dirk's ring? Are people actually saying that? I've seen people say if Jimmy wins a ring, it's like the best ring of all time. I mean, it would be pretty impressive. Anthony Edwards, was that his coming out moment? 31 points per game in that series against the Nuggets. 31 points per game. 48% from the field, 34% from deep. Well, he's 29 right here, but do we think he climbs? I definitely think he does, for sure. Riser, it's his time. Give him the franchise, Minnesota. Say goodbye to Karl Anthony Towns. Best player the Nuggets played. Yeah, I've seen people say that this was actually the best. Like, the Wolves were like the hardest matchup for the Nuggets. No, I'll go over draft stuff closer to the draft. It's just like too far away. Too far away, especially when there's like legit fun playoff games going on. Oh, DG the PG had a rough go. I think he drops a little tiny bit. I think he probably drops out of the top 30. Nearly 4 turnovers a game. Did not shoot well. Yeah, I had Garland high, man. I love DG the PG, but he was rough in the playoffs for sure. He drops, unfortunately. Love me some Darius Garland. Bounce back, King. He'll bounce back. He'll be all right. Fox. How far does Fox go up? Definitely think Fox rises. But how far are we talking? Enough to warrant him a riser? Yeah, I think he goes up a few spots. He's rising to 18. Fox or Brunson? I know my answer. Fox or Brunson? Fox? 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 Really? Really? I think I'd go Brunson. Honest to God. I think I like physically what Fox brings to the table more, but it's really close. Speed kills. I'll take the craftiness of Brunson. But Fox is definitely a riser. Sabonis. Womp, womp, womp. I told you guys about this dude. I told you guys about this guy. He does something the best in the league. JB does not. Didn't Brunson lead the league in charges? Boom. Sabonis is a riser. I don't care what Slightly says. No, Sabonis is rising, all right. Rising up to like 90. I watched this guy fucking play Eurobasket, get played off of the floor in Eurobasket. I knew this guy was going to shit himself in the playoffs. And guess what? He shit all over his pants. Now, he was dealing with a thumb injury, so I'll give him a little bit of a pass there. But, yeesh. I don't want my center shooting under 50% from the field. Okay, I just don't. Oh my God. Listen to the true shooting percentages in Sabonis' playoff career so far, okay? First year with OKC, granted he plays 6 minutes. Actually, I'm not even going to mention that one. 62% with Indiana, 2017-2018. That was the year they took the Lakers, the Cavaliers to 7 games. The following season, Indiana, they get swept. 48% true shooting. This year against the Warriors, 51. Yikes, man. Yo, Sally, where the hose at? In the back. Yikes. Definite faller. Trae Young. Okay, look. People are going to say fall. How far are we talking, though? Does Trae fall out of the top 30? To me, the answer is no. To me, the answer is no. Like, I feel like he's just around 25. And he had a terrible start to that Boston series, but did turn it around a little bit. Like 38 points and 13 assists in that game 5 was crazy. So I think he stays around here. One thing I've noticed from my rankings is they're pretty damn good. Julius Randle, adios, see ya. You're going back to the 70s probably. I'm sorry. You can do whatever you want in the postseason or in the regular season, but how many times do I have to watch you be fucking horrible in the postseason? Like, sorry. This is kind of where I'm starting to get with certain players where it's like, all right, cool. You did X, Y, and Z in the regular season. That's great. But I'm not sitting around and watching you shoot 12% from the field in the playoffs again. I'm just not doing it. Julius Randle's postseason career numbers. 34% from the field on 16 attempts a game. 17 points a game on 16 shots per game. 29% from the field 2 years ago in the playoffs. 37% from the field this year's playoffs. 25% from three on 6.6 attempts per game. 3.5 turnovers. 4 turnovers per game in his career. More turnovers than assists in the playoffs. True shooting percentage of 46% in the postseason. Just a historic dropper in the playoffs. Dallas kid, love him. You know, but it's brutal. It's brutal how bad he is in the playoffs. Paul George hurt. Drew. Does Drew drop a little bit? Like 20 was a little aggressive, I feel like. Like, I think Drew definitely gets surpassed by Brunson and Fox. So I do think he drops. And he just straight up wasn't very good. 49% true shooting. Like, Jimmy Butler did shit on him. Although, like, he was just going crazy. I can't really hold that too much against him, but I love Drew. And admittedly, like, I was really, really high on Drew. Like, I had him in the top 20. So, it's just, like, not necessarily his fault, but he definitely didn't play that well when the Bucks really needed him to play well. So, he drops. Jaylen Brown. My God, this one's a hard one. $19 is high. And let's just keep in mind here. I mean, who knows? They could come back and everything can change. Keep in mind here, like, when we get to the top 20, moving down just a few spots to me quantifies as a dropper. So far in the Heat series, 22 points on 21 shots, game 1. 16 points on 23 shots, game 2. 12 points on 17 shots in game 3. 17 points on 16 shots in game 4. Woof. That's ugly. He was pretty good before that, though. Yeah, 6 turnovers. God, the amount of games he's had with more than 3 turnovers. How is that even possible? He's a dropper, I think. But not too far, though. Still think he's like a top 25 guy. Top 30 guy, at least. But he's definitely not a top 20 guy, I don't think. Yeah, he did hurt his elbow. And again, if they mount to come back, he could definitely change this. But just from what we've seen so far, he's definitely a dropper, I think. How much room does Anthony Davis have to go up? His defense was phenomenal in this postseason. I think he is a riser, actually. He was very, very good in the playoffs. Defensively. Offensively, there are definitely some frustrating moments, but can't really blame him. Defensively, he was really that guy. And again, moving up 18 to 15, I think is a big enough jump that I consider you a riser. Booker is definitely a riser for sure. I would struggle to imagine him not being in the top 10. Hard for me to imagine D-Book not being in the top 10 after what he did in the playoffs. Fell off a little bit the last 2 games. Abysmal 12 points on 4 of 13 in game 6. Just something about those closeout games. But 33.7 points per game in the playoffs. That's still the most. On 58% from the field, 50% from deep. Jesus. He like, what he was doing those first few games against Denver was crazy. Crazy what he was doing. So after game 1 against the Clippers, they lose. He played okay, 26 points on 10 of 19. But after that, all the way up to game 5 against Denver, he averaged 38 points per game, 62% from the field, 54% from deep, 38 points on 14 shots. Crazy. And then I think he just kind of ran out of steam a little bit. Was just playing 44, 45, 46 minutes and had the ball in his hands the whole time pretty much, especially after Chris Paul got injured. But he was incredible. I had Kyrie 16th. Oh, man. I'm really shameless. I'm really shameless. Donovan Mitchell at 15. Okay. Lower on Donovan Mitchell than most other people I was. Does he drop? And if the answer to that question is yes, how far? Or like how far are we willing to drop Donovan Mitchell? Into the 20s? Like, do we put him in the 20s? Donovan Mitchell or De'Aaron Fox? $28 points per game in the regular season for Donovan Mitchell. 23 in the playoffs. %61% true shooting in the regular season. Best of his career. 51 in the playoffs. So, at a certain point, do we erase the Donovan Mitchell playoff performer narrative that has existed? Because that's 2 playoffs in a row where they've just been, like, not good. He's lost in the first round and has not looked very good. Granted, last year they were supposed to lose to the Mavericks. Although, that's actually not true. They were actually the favorites because of the Luka injury. But nobody with a brain thought the Mavericks were going to lose that series. He drops a little bit. Does Ja just drop on principle alone? See, like, I don't... I don't know. Like 14 feels about right. I wouldn't feel like super good about moving him too far down or up. And yeah, he was dealing with the very bad hand injury. Is this a European thing? That shit is crazy, dude. He's in the middle of a fade, man. No, man, that's how he likes it. No, that's it. It's done. That's the end of his cut. Barber's Clippers died in the middle of the cut. I think Jaw stays around here. Harden, yeah. See, I'm putting Harden in the 20s. I don't care. I'm not going to I'm not going to trick myself again. Perform in the playoffs or shut up at this point. Be good in the playoffs or it's over. Nine points in Game 7 on 3 of 11. 13 points on 4 of 16 in Game 6. Yes, he did have a couple of great games. Most certainly. But once again, when the team needed him most, you can't have 13 points on 4 of 16 shooting in a Game 6 at home with a chance to close out the Celtics. Or 9 points in a Game 7. Granted, you lost by 48 points. It didn't really matter. Just can't have it. And 13's high. So, like, dropping him even to, like, 19 is a big drop. Braun. I think it's time we be honest with ourselves. Is LeBron James really a top 15 player in the NBA right now? I mean, let's just like take emotions out of it. I personally think LeBron's the greatest player of all time. Let's just take emotions out of it. Braun rises to top 10. No, he doesn't, guys. No, he doesn't. He just doesn't. I'll leave him around here, but I'm very like I don't know if he's a top 15 player in the NBA anymore. Jimmy definitely rises. Like if they make the finals, he's in my top 5, I think. Although he hasn't been like crazy in this series. And they need him to enter crazy mode one more time. Jimmy top 5 is kind of ridiculous. I mean, if he makes the finals this year, it's just it is what it is. What else can you say? No, he was good against the Knicks. That Knicks series was just a rock fight, though. The 5th spot in the top 5s is wide open. It is up for grabs. I had Kawhi. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this formatting. Did I have Shea as 9 or Kawhi as 9 and Shea as 10? All right, let's just assume I had Shea as 9. Kawhi as 10. Yeah, but Jimmy does everything else outside of scoring too. Like he's a great defender. He sets up teammates. God. What? I cannot put Kawhi outside of my top 10. He is God in basketball form whenever he's on the floor. But Jesus, he cannot stay on the court, man. Has not been healthy for a playoff run since the bubble. Really sad, but it is what it is. Jimmy's healthy, Kawhi? No, Kawhi's better. Like, I'm telling you, when Kawhi is out there, man. 2 games against Phoenix. Oh, did he play 3 games against them? No, 2 games against Phoenix. 38 points, 31 points. Well, I'm also like super biased towards Kawhi because I absolutely love him. 34.5 points per game in the 2 games he played. 30 in the postseason run where he beat the Mavericks. 28, 30. Oh my God, this guy is so fucking good. He just cannot stay on the floor. Yeah, Kawhi's career is going to be a gigantic what if. I think he's got to drop a little bit. Like, I just can't have him in the top 10 in good faith anymore. It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. I love the guy to death. One of my favorite players. But it's just... Where the fuck is Paul George? He was up like in the 20s. I think Tatum's around here, actually. Like, I think this is about perfect for Tatum. And he can rise. He can rise if they do come back down 3-0. But I don't think he'll fall if they lose. This is about right for him. 7, 8, 9. If they win, he'll go up. I don't think they're going to win, though. I just don't. Like, I've heard people make so many good points where it's like, whenever you're down 3-0, it's like everything has to go so perfect for you after that. Like, Max Strus has one good shooting game and it's over. Like, Jimmy Butler decides, all right, I'm going to have the game where I score like 45 points. It's over. Bam Adebayo like decides, hey, I'm going to hit 10 like elbow jumpers today. It's over. Like, your season's done. But this is around where Tatum is. If Tatum ever got like super consistent, yeah, he'd be incredible. He's got to fix his shot diet though, I think, before that. Like the whole sidestep threes every time. Like half of his shots being sidestep contested threes. He makes them. But I think his shot diet needs to improve. Steph rises. He rises into the top 5 for sure. Okay, didn't mean that. Steph rises. Yeah, Gabe Vincent's injury is pretty important. That Game 7 performance, unbelievable. 30 points per game in the playoffs for Steph. Only 36% from 3, which the lowest of his career. For him, it was a pretty inefficient postseason. But watching him, though, like he pretty much had to put the entire team on his back because nobody else really showed up. And it is pretty remarkable whenever you see guys like that. Guys who like Steph and like Jokic who, you know, they put up a ton of shots, but like the ball's not in their hands 24/7. And whenever they have games where they're like, all right, everyone get the fuck out the way. Everyone get out of the way. Like, I'm taking this game over. It's my time. Like, I'm carrying us to a victory. It is special. KD stays around here. Not a good postseason. 2 bad postseasons in a row for KD. By KD standards. Don't know what to make of that, really. He's only getting older. But I don't know if I can go any lower than 6 for Kevin Durant. Well, I guess I could, actually, because I think Steph's going to rise. I think if Jimmy makes the finals, I'm going to put him higher. I think he drops 1 or 2 spots, which in the top 10 is big. In the top 10 is big, dropping a couple of spots. So I'll definitely say KD's a bit of a dropper. It's just two bad playoffs in a row for KD. Again, by his standards. And I don't want to blame too much. Like the Suns, it was just him and 42 and a half. Oh, God, man. 42 minutes a game for KD. That's the most in the playoffs this year. 44 minutes a game in that series last year. Damn, he's got so much mileage over the last couple of years. 29 points per game in the playoffs this year. I mean, that's great, but the efficiency, 59% true shooting. This is the standards that KD is held to. Like those are legitimately great numbers, but it wasn't that impressive. It didn't like pass the eye test really, and it was bad in the those numbers were nowhere near as good in the Nuggets series. You had a 10 of 27, a 12 of 31, 10 of 24, even like 23 points on 19 shots is not very good for KD. Yeah, 4 turnovers, 5 turnovers, 5 turnovers. He had a 7 turnover game against the Nuggets in game 1. Like, yeah. I had Damon's 5. He'll drop out of the top 5 for sure. But I just wanted to give a shout out to his incredible season he had. Luka, not in the playoffs. The only guy on this list not in the playoffs who's going to get a shout here. A riser. How could you do that? He's not in the playoffs. And what do you mean he's rising from 4? After watching all of these guys shit their pants every other game, it really makes you appreciate what Luka Doncic brings to the table in the playoffs. It really makes you appreciate it. 31 points per game. His second year in the league, 20-year-old. His first trip to the playoffs, 31. Next year, 35. Next year, 32. .32.5 points per game throughout his career in the playoffs. 58% true shooting. Look at some of these numbers. First year in the playoffs. Regular season true shooting percentage 58. Postseason 59. Riser. Second year 58% regular season. 57 in the playoffs, but hey, he was doing everything. Still good for his volume. True shooting percentage went up last year too. He's going up. He's really that guy. And it's Luka, if you're listening to me, which I'm assuming you are, you're not missing the playoffs again, buddy. Need you locked in the whole season, okay? I've already had the talk with Mark Cuban. We're not letting you miss the playoffs again. Because people think it's sweet. People think shit's sweet. The way that they're talking on Twitter. We'll just have to remind them. Jokic, yes, I'm sorry. I failed you. You're the best player in basketball. Which is such a shame because I've been so high on Jokic for so long. I can't believe I can't believe I did this in his big year. I've been such a Jokic defender. 30 points per game. 13 rebounds, 10 assists. Incredible stuff for Jokic, man. The most triple-doubles in a postseason run ever. Straight up averaging a triple-double. A 30-point triple-double at that. In the playoffs. Crazy. Utter insanity. How old is Jokic? 27? He's 28. Just turned 28. With how good Jokic is offensively, some people, way smarter than me, think that he's already the best offensive player the league's ever seen. Ben Taylor of Thinking Basketball thinks that. Jokic has top 5 all-time potential. Jokic straight up has top 5 all-time potential. We'll see how the rest of his career pans out, but this Nuggets team's gonna be good for a long time unless they do something horrifically stupid. But Jokic, unbelievable postseason run, and if he closes it out, whew. Can't believe myself. I can't believe myself. We already looked over the Embiid playoff numbers. Led the league in scoring yet again. 33 points a game in the regular season. 23 in the playoffs, man. A 10-point drop-off is fucking nuts. Do you understand how crazy that is? 65% true shooting percentage in the regular season, 56. 10 points drop off. Man, get his ass out of the top fucking 10. God. 26 points on 9 of 19 shooting down the stretch of game 6 at home. A chance to close it out against the Celtics. 26 points on 19 shots, not bad. Didn't touch the ball more than once in the last 4 minutes of the game, and he wants to cry about it. Guess what, man? Get the fucking ball. Grab the ball and bring it up the floor. Post up and scream for the ball. Seriously, how many more times do I have to watch you get locked up by Big Al Horford? Fortunately for Embiid, Al Horford doesn't have much longer left in the league. But I can't sit here and be like, yep, Embiid, man. I can't believe myself putting him second. In my defense, I did think that this was the Sixers' year. Never again. Never again. Ever. Ever. And Giannis is dropping out of that top spot. I think I'm just going to knock him down to 2. But I think losing the top spot is enough to knock you to quantify you as a faller, just because that's a big deal having that top spot. Still think he's top 2. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He did have a back problem. Like, he missed games in the playoffs. Now, I'm curious. What was my top 100 rankings going into the season? Hold on a second. Hold on. I wanted to say this, but I was scared to. I wanted to say this, but I was scared to. And now Now I can openly say it. I knew it. December rough top 100. Last modified, December 4th. Scroll down, scroll down. Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin. Woo-hoo-hoo. I am a wizard. I see the future. I see the future. Because I remember thinking whenever I was going to do a top 100 list in December, and I was like, damn. I was like, damn, I love Caleb Martin. Like, I kind of think he's a top 100 player. Damn. Can't make it up. I'm trying to find my preseason one, though. I did one, right? Did I do a preseason top 100? I'm trying to find it in my Google Docs. I'm almost certain I did, but I don't see one in here. Luka was one. Did I have Luka at one? Did I have Luka at one? Hell yeah. Hell, you know what? This summer, I'm getting back into that. I'm getting back into that this summer. This year was terrible. This year was not fun. I'm getting right back into it. I'm going full delusion again. I'll let Jokic have his time. I'll let Jokic have his time for the time being. But whenever it comes to the preseason top 100, oh yeah, we know who's going to be there. Number one. Top 100 players in the NBA. Slightly Biased Live. Okay, I had Kevin Durant at 4. I had Giannis at 2. Oh, yeah. I'm getting back into this. Players' careers. And let me tell you, Luka, offensively, he does everything. I mean, and I'm not kidding. Outside of playoff ball, I guess. But even then, you know what? I think he could do it. Why? Because do I have tape? Nope. Do I have numbers? Nope. Just because. All right? 99th percentile as a shooter, 99th percentile as a finisher, 100th percentile as a playmaker, 100th percentile in isolation points per possession, 93rd percentile as a pick and roll ball handler. Literally does whatever he wants. He's going to embarrass you in front of your friends, family, your girlfriend, your side woman. He's going to embarrass you in front of your children. And then not only is he going to do that, he's going to laugh at you and then look at your children and laugh at them. That's just how he is as a player, right? And it's funny because what happened to me? I used to be so much more happy. This wasn't even a year ago. Life was good right here, man. For the Mavericks, at least. For Mavericks fans. God, the chat looks so much better like this. This looks so bad. The Sun series, it was up in the air. It was like, okay, when he's laughing, is it like, oh man, I love basketball. I love basketball. Wow, do you see that shot? I love it. That was a great shot. I was like, is that what he's doing, or is he laughing at you? No, he's laughing at you. No, this was not a day after Game 7. This was right before the season started. He's actually laughing at in your face. Disrespectful. Has that fuck you in his game that I don't think any other player has in the league currently. His fuck you is insane. Oh my god, that just makes me sad watching this. I wish I could go back in time and tell myself, please. Do not get your hopes up. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for the worst case scenario. Anyways, those are the playoffs, risers and fallers. I'm excited to do my top 100. I love doing top 100 lists. I just do. They're so fun. And I'm not going to waste too much time. The moment the finals are over, boom, we're doing the top 100 list updated, and then boom, draft, slightly biased, big board, mock drafts. Then boom, free agency offseason. And then we can get back into bro had the Mavs as a 2 seed. I made a whole video shitting on myself for my terrible preseason predictions, okay? All right. I did have wood in the 70s. Draft special brought to you by Cole Haan. You can get your fucking Cole Haans. Imagine how smart the voters would look if they gave him 3 MVPs. Maybe the course of history would have changed. Maybe Embiid would have been like, no, fuck you. I'm not folding and having a terrible postseason. But that didn't happen. He did have a terrible postseason. It was really bad. It was horrible. All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming out. Kind of crazy because I almost didn't stream today, and then I ended up streaming for 2.5 hours. Thank you guys for coming out. It was a lot of fun. I have a lunch tomorrow, so I don't know when I'm going to go live, but I do plan on going live just because I want to go. I want to say I went live every day this week. That's really what it boils down to. All the OGs, thank you guys very much for coming out. You could have spent your Thursday afternoon anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Daily content, regular content on this channel. If you haven't checked out my video from yesterday, go ahead and watch. Go ahead and watch. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously and it makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Heat. Close this thing out tonight. Love you guys. I have not watched Air yet. I need to. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.